Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith. This is All Things Tenerife and more. I'm in not so sunny Dublin today. I'll turn you around. Okay, this isn't somewhere most people who know me would expect to find me, but I'm at the Phoenix Park beside the Papal Cross. The reason I thought I'd start this story here this morning, I'm actually in the Phoenix Park this morning. I did promise you I'd do a vlog out of the park. Park is it's actually the largest park. It's like the largest walled park in Europe is what it is. It even beats the Phoenix Park, or sorry, it even beats New York Central Park by a couple of acres. And as you can see, it's pretty immense. And I don't know whether you can actually see over in the distance. Way over there, there's a small herd of deer. Well, there's actually a large herd of deer in the park. There's roughly 300-400 at any given time in the park. Now this is smack bang in the middle of Dublin City. It's one of my favourite places. It's got Dublin Zoo in it. It has Áras an Uachtaráin, which is the presidential house where the President of Ireland lives. And it also has the American Embassy, which is literally behind those bushes, behind those tree line. Behind that tree line, you'll see the American Embassy. And yeah, it's just one of my favourite places in Dublin. Now, where we are now, the Pope visited in 1979, 29th of September, 2 days after my birthday, in 1979. Pope John Paul II. There was over 3 million people here, in this area here. And I remember distinctly because I was one of them. Probably where those people are walking there on the left side would be roughly where I was, along that side. Little 12-year-old Keith in his Boy Scouts uniform, doing guard of honour to a pope I didn't believe in, because even then I was questioning my religion back when I was 12, which actually would be right. It was about the time I did start to question religion. That's neither here nor there. But I'd say, yeah, over 3 million, nearly 3 million people, they reckon, visited here at that stage. He came back then in 2018. Not the same Pope, obviously, but it shows the difference in opinion in the Catholic Church between then and now and then, because, yeah, there was about 150,000 people visited the second time. Now, I'm going to take you a little wander down. I'm going to bring you over and watch the deer. Just so they are real. They don't look it from here, but they are. And I'm also going to very slowly walk down this hill because there's all sorts of stuff here, including piles of deer shit, pardon my language. And I don't mean expensive stuff, I mean actual deers. I really worry about my sense of humour sometimes. But it'll never change. So what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, there was Dublin, Phoenix Park. Huge amount of, I suppose, historical facts about it. It was one of the most, well, one thing it is famous for, amongst having Dublin Zoo and the presidents and various other things in it, was murder. There's quite a few murders in this park. Kind of has a little dark history. No, I didn't pay him to do that, but that was a good special effect. I mentioned murder and I get a raven to call for me. Yeah, there was a stream of murders here over the years. But the one, I suppose, that connects my story to the Phoenix Park. And for those of you who are new, and I just want to welcome everybody, who've loads of new people, lots of new followers in the last couple of weeks. And a huge amount of interaction with the channel, and I'm really pleased with it because I've had so many comments, and some of them quite lengthy. In fact, some of them paragraphs long, which I do have to read. And if I haven't responded to you, or if I haven't acknowledged your comment, I'm trundling my way through them, because there's an awful lot more than I thought there would be. And particularly in Dublin, I really genuinely didn't think I would get as much traction on Dublin vlogs as I'm getting. And I'm getting requests to do various areas in Dublin, which I will try and do for you. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback about the vlogs in general, and thank you very much for all the kind words that you're giving me and the sort of support and motivation to do so many more of these. And I do plan on stepping outside of Dublin in the next couple of weeks. I have a couple of ideas for a few sort of unusual ones that I'm hoping, well no, I know I haven't done yet, but I'm hoping some of you haven't seen. And I'm actually amazed at the amount of Dublin that Dubliners haven't seen. But anyway, I'm not really, because that doesn't surprise me. It's like anywhere. You live in a city, you go to work, you come home from work, you don't necessarily step outside of certain areas in where you live, if you know what I mean. So yeah, some people don't see the back streets of Dublin and the little restaurants and the little bars and things like that. But there is the American ambassador's residence. That's where he lives, and it's literally across the road from Áras an Uachtaráin. Now I'm gonna bring you down to the deer, then I'll bring you back up. Hopefully we'll go down as far as Áras an Uachtaráin. It's a bit of a walk, so we'll do it in two parts. I won't do it all in one go, because I'd say the park is quite a large area. So for new visitors or new subscribers, and my American friends, which there are quite a few, I've had quite a few comments from America, from California, from, I think there was somebody from Arizona. This is where your ambassador lives. So yeah, people were commenting that, and I know I've digressed from the original story of the murders, but I'll get back to them. We'll round back to the murders before I finish. People were commenting that I eat in a lot of restaurants, or I know a lot of restaurants in Dublin. And I do, because I've eaten in them. Myself and my partner, food is our hobby, for want of a better word. Food and travel. And we were actually a member of a food club called First Table. And First Table, you pay a monthly subscription to the channel, this app, and you get 50% discount on all your food. Now, I've recommended it to a lot of people. I think it's still going, but I believe it's leaving Ireland. But there is another one on the way, which I haven't done my research on it yet, so I don't know what way it's going to work. I know the one in the First Table was pretty straightforward. You paid a monthly fee, and it was buttons. It was a couple of euro, and that entitled you to 50% off everything you bought. So if you bought main course, you got the second one free. If you got a starter, you got next starter free. And it was all early bird menus. So what the the restaurants were doing, they were trying to get obviously people in when it was quiet. So between like 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock, you could eat for half price in some of the nicest restaurants in Dublin City. So we did that for quite some time. And we do try and get out maybe once a month somewhere nice. Not as much as we used to, because we're busy and we're traveling a lot, so we sort of save our eating for Tenerife or wherever we happen to land. But yeah, so that's why I have eaten so many restaurants. And today I'm going to do a few vlogs in the city today, and on some of the walks I'll show you some of the restaurants that we've eaten in over the years, and I'll let you know exactly what I feel about them. And we've done, normally when we do eat out of a restaurant, we do a little bit of research on it, and I suppose we make sure that we're going to more than likely enjoy it. So try not to give bad reviews, and it's not because I don't like giving bad reviews, which I don't, I suppose. It's just that I'd rather eat in a nice restaurant if I'm going to pay for a nice restaurant. Okay, so I'm going to go back to murder. So the guy was called Malcolm MacArthur. This is back in the 80s, I think it was 82 or thereabouts. And he murdered a nurse who was living and working in Dublin. Bridie Gangan, I think her name was. But he murdered her after returning. Believe it or not, himself and his wife and their child were going to set up life in Tenerife, of all places. Which is what was where the connection is. So he came back because of financial issues, and he murdered this young nurse here in the Phoenix Park. In fact, he served 30 years for it. was released in 2016 or so. 2012 actually he was released, but he served 30 years for a murder. But they didn't. He also was suspected of a second murder of a farmer in Offaly, which he was never tried for. But so I say, it was bizarre when my partner actually did the research on it for me, and she messaged me before I got here to say the deer have just spotted me, and I think they're a little bit shy. But isn't this the coolest thing to see in the middle of Dublin city? Back in the day when I was taxiing in Dublin. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second as I'm spooking them. And this is a common thing. People come down, they bring their children down to feed them. They do recommend you don't feed them. And if you do come to visit them, do exactly that. Come down and see them, but don't bring food. Pick grass up off the ground and give it to them by all means, but don't feed them. These were originally brought in to be hunted. When, I suppose, during the British occupation, they would have been here for that purpose. They were brought in and bred purely to hunt. Now, obviously, because we don't hunt anymore, and well, it's not legal to hunt them here now, they run wild. And we have, I'd say, anywhere between 300 and 400 of a herd in here at any given time. And they are so beautiful. And it's quite a small part of the herd. Grateful we're not in the middle of rooking season, which is not good to be here, because I can get a bit rowdy when the bucks are trying to headbutting each other. But to have a resource like that in the middle of Dublin city, it's just beautiful. And I love bringing either my kids or my grandkids. I've brought them all up here to see them, my nieces and nephews, and particularly around Christmas time, they do a lovely thing here at Christmas where Santa leaves with a reindeer sled from the Phoenix Park, and they televise it, and it's magical. There's no question about that. It's a lovely thing for kids to see. But yeah, so that's it. So we're gonna head you back out of here now. It's starting to rain, which is not ideal, but and it's cold as hell here today. Last Saturday I was in town vlogging, and at one stage I had to take my jacket off, I had to take my shirt off, tie it around my waist. It was too warm. It was unbelievably warm. And today I got up, and when I went out this morning, it was -1. There was actually frost on my car. So from last week we had 19 degrees on the Saturday and the Sunday, 18, 19 degrees on the Saturday and Sunday, and we had -1 this morning. And that's Irish weather. And a lot of people ask that question, what's the weather like in Ireland? I suppose it's a common question everywhere. And many people ask that question in Tenerife or on the Tenerife forums that we're on. What's the weather like during whatever time? Ireland doesn't have that. It's just wet, damp and sunny, and sometimes all in the one day. And it is starting to come down now. I can feel the raindrops, and it's probably about 4 or 5 degrees. My hand that's holding the camera at the moment is starting to get a little bit cool, so not good. But I'm gonna leave here now. I'm gonna head back out. I'll take a quick snap of all the Nuke on for you, and we'll pop that in here. So that was Oris Neutron, and this is it. I'm going to stop here. Phoenix Park is far too big to do in one vlog, so I'll do it over the next couple of weeks in more than one vlog. Hopefully the weather's a little bit better, because it is starting to rain now. So I'm going to head into the city, and I'll do a few more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. So if you like what you see, hit the like, subscribe, the bell for notification. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all my existing subscribers. I'm loving doing what I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying the interaction between everybody. So I try not to vet comments. I may not agree with some of them, particularly on some of the more controversial issues that I've looked at, but yeah, I think it's healthy to get people's opinion on whatever aspect of Irish life that you're watching when I do my vlogs. So like I say, hit the like, subscribe, bell for notification, and I'll talk to you in the next one. So long.